Hello, divine beings. Hello, divine creators. We are Kemet. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us see what Source would like to discuss today. What are we talking about? What are we chatting about? What are we receiving? Kira. Kiaviratir talatir. Rikir kiazaraki. Ooh, divine crossroad. Kitar kiavir. Rikash kitar. Okay, so beautiful beings. Ooh. You might have noticed, and we have noticed it, that in your life, people who maybe you have been with seem to now be really in their truth, where energies you perhaps overlooked or you sort of didn't think bothered you or were in opposition to you, because again, even if something bothers you, you understand this is me, it's they are who they are, simply we are no longer resonant, so it's for me to release. You're no longer needing to change them, right? And you are feeling that it's sort of like, wow, okay, I knew that they were a little bit self-serving and selfish, but whoa, now I see it. Or, ooh, okay, I knew that they were a little bit egoic and a little bit materialistic, but now it's in my face. You are sort of witnessing and seeing, like, yo, okay, people are just, they had a choice and they've decided nope, and they're sticking where they are. And Source is saying that's exactly what happened. Divine crossroads. We're in the Aquarian frequency, the truth realm. And people are more crystallized in their truth than ever before. And there was a period where the energies were slightly blurred, where you would see people who maybe were a little bit in ego, but then they came back to source, or a little bit materialistic, but then they came back to inner wealth, a little bit egoic, and they came back to spirituality. So they were almost like a blend. It wasn't too harsh. It was a in-between haze, and you almost thought, no, they're on the path, they're doing it, they're doing the work, they're doing it. Maybe they'll take a bit longer than you, but hey, they're doing it. Then all of a sudden you're meeting them now and it's like, whoa, okay, what happened in the last few months? Because you just went right back to, you just went right back. And Source is saying, yes, we were all given an opportunity. When 2020 light codes happened, perfect vision happened. Everyone received their truth, and this didn't only happen in 2020. Receiving also happened in 2008. Okay, thank you, Source. We recently watched a beautiful reading by Dee, from Conscious Evolution Journey. We've mentioned them before, and this was on Soul Manor. And this was about, please go and check it out. Go and see her website or YouTube. She's amazing. She's really brilliant. It's Consciousness Evolution Journey or Soul Manor. And her name is Dee. She has quite a beautiful viewing. She's just, her tarot is like the most beautiful weaving. It's very different from ours. It's very different. We don't even explain it, but there's the way that they just flow, or she flows with it. It's just wow, blows our mind every time. And she did a reading about Pluto. For Pluto has just shifted into Aquarius, and it'll be there for the next 20 years. And if you go to her Soul Manor page and you just, it's not very low. You'll see it's a few videos down. You'll see she has a reading about Pluto. And Pluto had moved into Capricorn in 2008. And this was the teachings and the healings. We, of course, received it in a very different way, because remember, we have been guided to release doing the known energies and really looking at the known in that way, but rather just to transmute and to anchor in the transmissions in unknown frequencies. So that is why most of our readings and most of our energy, we don't really tap into the houses or astrology so much, for we are asked to just almost connect to the energies directly and just anchor in their source frequency as opposed to understand them in a technical way. But that doesn't take away from that. I mean, we love how she's able to access, and all of you who are able to tap into astrology and read it, it's magical. It's beautiful that you are inspired to do that and that you are able to access it that way. Anyway, so then Pluto entering Capricorn was a lot of teachings, and that happened. Capricorn is that energy of mirror frequency. We've always talked about that mirror frequency, what we feel it is, mirror frequency. We also feel Capricorn is associated quite a lot of the Ten of Pentacles, right? How are you building your stability? That's why it's the Devil card in Tarot. If you're not in your truth, mirror energy, you're seeing your energy. The bringer of light is showing you what you are. And when you're in your truth, and it's Ten of Pentacles, and you're not in your truth, it's Ten of Swords. So it's really you seeing how you deny yourself and then what you create versus you allowing yourself in what you create. So we were given that opportunity with the energies of 2008, the different planetaries, even before, starting almost 2000s, going in from the 19s to the 2000s. There's a lot of energy of, okay, so are you going to choose your soul path of source, or are you going to remain in the illusion? And then 2020 perfect vision happened, and that amplified, right? And so Pluto has shifted into Aquarius, and a lot of the energies are shifting now from their lesson energy to more of the reward or the, so now you've done the lessons, this is now what you're experiencing. And so people who are almost in between and not really wanting to, you'll find that on the crossroad of source and illusion, some have chosen illusion. And they're there and they've crystallized, and that's where they're going to be. Some of us, we've chosen source, and that's where we are, and that's where we're going to be. And source is saying, accept this, because you're going to find yourself shifting away from relationships. Even those that you maybe thought were people who would continue with you on your journey, all of a sudden you realize, nope, it's just not comfortable being in their energy. And it's not because of judgment. It's not because of rejection. It's simply, it doesn't feel comfortable to be in their energy. And you can't even explain it sometimes. But it's simply their focal point, or how they are vibing is just no longer a comfortable frequency for you to vibe, just like you are no longer a comfortable frequency for them to vibe. And so to force the frequencies almost causes a clashing, but to release is actually a lot more soothing and peaceful. And you might have that experience of, oh no, but you know, I don't want to give up on them. And so saying it's not giving up. It's understanding they chose illusion, you chose authentic truth, two different frequencies. Let them be, let yourself be, in order for both of you to amass. You'll both amass abundance, you'll both amass success, you'll both be beautiful frequencies, but just in very different timelines, different spaces, different energies, right? Because not all of those who create within the illusion are necessarily bad people. They're not mean and out to get there. They're actually, some of them are very well-meaning beings that just are not at all connected to their source space, but they still do positive affirmations or do or assist and, you know, do beautiful charitable things, and they still are loving, good beings, but it's just some of their point of view of how they create and stuff like that, and where they vibe or what they think, how it just doesn't, it's like, oh no, but oh no, but no, but no. We had an experience with another, I think we've mentioned it when we had caught up with an older friend of ours, and they, in the conversation, they said that they believe one needs to push their opinion and force push and force a change in someone. And we were like, ooh, and we felt it. And we felt that that's what they believe. We felt they're not going to budge from that. And we felt truly that is how they deal with people. They force their opinion and they push their opinion and they force a change. And what they were offering, in terms of what they were offering as their opinion, was actually very good advice. It wasn't bad energy. They were actually, I was like, I remember we said to them, we are not disagreeing with the information you want to push, as you are saying. It's actually quite valid. It actually assists a great healing. But we just feel that when someone is receptive and ready, and we then offer it in that space, they're more likely to apply it and actually then integrate the changes than when they are forced and then are now expected to change. We find that's very temporary, where maybe in the moment they agree with you, but then after a few days they will resist it because it was forced, it wasn't received. They didn't agree with us at all. And we're like, okay, let's agree to disagree. No, we had to agree with them. And we're like, ooh. And so that was the thing. It was the push and force. And we're like, this feels uncomfortable. And how we are so happy to be like, okay, you do you, we do we, and it's fine. And that wasn't okay. And that is what you're going to almost experience with those who are in the illusion or unawakened energies, because that's very conditioned energies. Those are, you have to believe as I believe in order for me to be comfortable in my belief. You have to see as I see in order for me to be valid in how I see. And if you don't see as I see, then you're the one that's wrong and you need to... While we, through source, okay, well, that's cool. You do you, we do us. That's fine. You do you. We're all different. We're all unique. So if that's how you see it, that's okay. It's a lot more peaceful, gentle, allowing, accepting of infinite and various ways. We did not judge him for the push and the force. We didn't say he was wrong for the pushing and the forcing. We were just, that just doesn't feel aligned. And we saw how uncomfortable those people were. We could sort of see it on their faces and feel it in their frequency. But if that's the way you want to do things, then that's okay. We just would prefer when it resonates, when we are called to, when it feels inspired, when it's harmonious, and they're also having a good time when they're receiving the information. That'll be nice for them to have a good time when they're receiving the information, wouldn't it be? Nice for them to have a good time while they're receiving the information. But what do we know, right? What do we know? We are silly, crazy ones, doing our all spiritual woolly stuff. So when you are now navigating your experience, beautiful beings, just be mindful. The crystallization has happened. People have chosen their path. We all had a crossroads. This way to source, this way to remain on your path of illusion. The path was first unified, so it was almost both, and you sort of like were drifting between both worlds, and then all of a sudden just funneled into more specific, decisive channels. And best for you, for your own sanity and your own energy and your own health and well-being, to release, because they're not going to budge. They don't want to, and they don't have to. Just like you are not going to budge. You don't want to, nor do you have to. And it's also just bringing it through, saying, if this is happening in your family, this is happening maybe through relationships, colleagues, friendships. And it's just this is the shift that's happening in the world as beings are ascending and others are not. And that's okay. Not everybody's ascending at this time. And that's okay. So it's for you to make peace with your path and to let go of those who are happy, because they are happy there. They might not seem it, they might be complaining, or you might be noticing the same escapism kind of energies, the same addictive things that they're doing. You might notice that they're still in those cycles, but if they wanted to leave, they would have left. But they don't want to leave, so they must be happy there. While you are doing a different path of, okay, I no longer want to run away from myself. I don't no longer want to hold anything external responsible for my well-being. I simply just want to allow that which feels good and aligned to be what I live, and for the abundance to come through the source frequency I am. And I have no idea how it's going to turn out. No idea what's happening. No clue. Yet I'm at peace, tranquil, boundaries are set, I'm in my power, and things are on the up and up. Things are improving, and things are about to get a lot better now that the energies are now really sifting. And Source is saying it gets so much better when you are just allowing yourself to move towards your own frequency. That's when you're going to start connecting with others who are source creators. And that's when you're going to now start feeling the environments change to source creation. And that's when you're going to feel all of your endeavors and what you've been working on now really climb and succeed, because you freed them of the energy of the illusion. And they are also going to feel more comfortable and happier in their energy, and more at peace and more at ease in their energy, because they no longer have your energy also causing a distortion to their choice and their frequency of the illusion frequencies. Because remember, we are source, we do not judge. We simply came here to bring balance, because everybody was in the illusion. Like, no, whoever is ready to be source, be source. Whoever wants to stay in illusion, remain there. Balance, right? Balance. The illusion frequency enjoys control, so they are more likely to want to hold on to you, and they might use manipulation, emotion manipulation. They're just more likely to, because that's the way of it. So don't judge them if they react negatively, if all of a sudden they're trying to emotionally, it's not going to work anyway, because you can see what it is. In the past, when you were unawakened, oh, it worked beautifully. They would say this and it would snap, and you would run along and just be that empath gushing out your energy. But now it's no, you're no longer feeling that tug. It actually just feels like, you stop doing that. That's not fun. That's actually really not attractive. Stop. It no longer appeals to you, no longer turns you on, no longer is a love language. All of them in emotional, mental manipulation, the gaslighting, the narcissistic energies, the egoic energies, materialistic energies, they're no longer at all appealing. It's just like, no, we do things because we want to. We do things because it brings us joy. We don't do things because we want people to see what we are doing. It actually has more to do with us and what we personally want to do. And that's strange for them, because for them, it's for everyone to see how amazing and beautiful. And we're like, okay, but it's for us, but within us, everybody will see it, because then it shines brighter for everyone to see. It's not temporary flashes. And that's okay. And that's fine. Release, don't feel guilty for releasing. Let go. You're not giving up. You are finally understanding. You are, it's powerful for you to be like, okay, and acknowledge. It's also saying this is the spiritual maturity time. This is when all of you now pull up your socks, put on your grown adult underwear on, put your hat on. This is when you now understand. This is spiritual maturity, where you are able to discern this energy is not vibing, and I release it. And I'm no longer feeling responsible for it. I do not feel guilty. I do not feel shameful. I now release it because we don't judge it. It's allowed to be. We're simply not wanting to be there, and we don't have to be there, so now we're not going to be there. And it's a spiritual maturity. It's a maturity you're showing. And it's important that you do that. And you honor your source. Instead of, oh no, but I've known them for so long, and, and then I'm going to be alone, but then what's going to happen? It's also saying that is not mature. That is codependent, and that is fear-based, and that is clingy, and source is not clingy. I'm sure all of you know who on the path. Source is not clingy at all. Source is like, oh, you do you. If you think that's a good idea, okay. We know it. We know it very clearly. Source is saying, you are source. You create your reality. Either accept this and step into it, or stop wasting our time asking for things when you're not going to apply it. Because that is just you being in that in-between world. And it feels like that in-between world is no longer available at this time. We have phased out of the in-between world. That was the fourth dimension, the in-between world. And we ascended from third to fifth, and it feels like there's a little bit of leaking through from the fourth dimension, but that's now no longer there, and it's just pure fifth dimensional energies of truth. So now it's just boom. What you believe, what you think, that's where you go. You had the opportunity to experience both, and now people have just chosen and chosen. And you can feel it. We sometimes think, okay, source, maybe we can make a bit of extra money going back into doing modeling, and then we would think of the castings and we used to love castings. We thought it was such a fun place because you met so many different people, so many different backgrounds. And we also just loved the experience of watching people do whatever the script asked, because some people's understanding of emotions or how to express shock or fear or laughter or happiness was... I probably was very naughty. I had to remember, we had to really hold in our laughter because we enjoy laughing at everything. And it's not that we are teasing you or belittling you. We just found we enjoyed observing humans and how they understood things, and their perception of things tickled us because it was like, oh, that's what you think. Fascinating. And we would just have to really contain ourselves. I'm sure we were also ridiculous when we were doing our castings too. So we really enjoyed that space. Yet now we think, ooh, no, now then we have to sit, and then they're going to ask, wait, Lasala? No, we are Kemet. What do you mean? Aren't you Lasala? No, we're Kemet. What do you mean? What happened? Oh, no. Oh, wow. And they're like, oof, we actually don't want to have those conversations. We really don't. And then we don't also want to go into a space in a studio where now we are asked to be something we're not, when all the work we do is literally be who you truly are. Release the stereotypical things. Be this authentic expression of self. And so we hope that one day we'll be able to create in a artistic way, maybe on a shoot or in a movie or something, where the energies are authentic, where it's not, oh, you are a black man, tall, you now need to be this. Hopefully it's like, oh, okay, What energy are you? This is the role. Do you think you can? Then like, okay, let's see how we in our energy would be in that role. That'll be nice. Where it's not the stereotypical castings, which really would just frustrate, even though they did entertain. So whenever we think of going back into these spaces as even being physio, we're like, oh, cringe. We can't imagine going into a hospital and having to deal with the ego of doctor and surgeon and this and this. We appreciate the medical field. I mean, when we were ill, we definitely went to see because we realized the energy stuff isn't working. This is a serious bug, and we're on a world where people know what they're doing. And we went and we got assisted, we got what we needed, and we were good, pain-free, cleared, so happy, so grateful, appreciate. But it's lovely to access that energy from a distance where we're not in it, because in it we didn't understand how people who are so good, the nurses, so good and so powerful in their job, would run around faffing, oh doctor, doctor. I was like, what are you doing? Why? And we could see they had to, in order to keep their job, in order to get in favor. And we're like, ooh, that's not healing. When these beautiful nurses aren't seen and celebrated and paid properly for the 24-hour, 7-day shifts of intense work they actually do. So it was just this energy which just doesn't agree, you know? And just knowing that we can't, and we can feel how stable we are. We're like, we have no idea how this is going to work. We have no idea how the channeling, how the YouTube, how our OnlyFans page, for those who don't know, we have an OnlyFans page. The link is in the description, and that's where we do our alchemy. So right now on YouTube, we have the star sign integrations where we channel the messages for the star signs. We have this conversation with Kemet where we just speak of, you know, conversational things, maybe things in our life or what source would like you to be aware in your life. So to make it a little bit more relatable, and you can then also understand what's happening in your life with a bit more ease. Then we have this Sunday soul sessions where we do it's like a nice little soul gathering. We all get together. So really, if you want to really connect with other beings and have this co-creative vibe, Sunday Soul Sessions is such a special time. It's so beautiful, so magical. We're also having an 8/8 portal special tomorrow. This is being recorded on the 7th. And so on the 8th, we're doing 8th of August at 8 p.m. South African time. We're doing an 8/8 portal live, where we're just going to see what's available, bring it through, and then we enjoy doing that. Bring it through, you integrate it, then good luck and see what happens in the next few days. And so this is more day-to-day energy kind of work to allow you navigating and understanding of your energy and how it relates to the physical. We find this to be almost the light weaving, in the light. And we find our OnlyFans to be more of our shadow energy, where it is there we give you the tools to step into your power and to master your alchemy. So that is where you just receive, it's just downloads and downloads and light codes and light codes. And those assist you to activate your own source power and for you to understand how it works and to really be a source being in the physical, but very unique to you. We just uploaded Mastery yesterday, and it was such a powerful integration, and we've been guided to watch it ourselves, so we're excited to see what we receive from there. And wow, it was when we were integrating it for everyone, we could feel this is going to be a whopper. And we can feel the almost importance of it, the not importance, because we're not saying, oh, you have to go and see it, it's that important. We don't give it, it's not about better or worse, the gravity of it, you know, should it resonate. So for those who are not aware, we do have an OnlyFans page, which is our Alchemy page. Why OnlyFans? Source guided us to OnlyFans. So we are doing where we need to be, where we need to go. We're not questioning, we are just being, right? And so in this flurry of just, we have no idea. All we know is this is where we're being. This feels harmonic. And we trust that this will be our stability and our abundance. And we do not want anything to do with the old life we had. It doesn't resonate. And so we are not shifting from this space either, right? And however you are experiencing it, some of you are, yes, still quite involved in those spaces, in the hospital, in the corporate, yet you are source there. And you're not shifting from being source there. And source is saying, and when you are there as source and other people aren't, don't shift out to please them, nor don't expect them to shift into source. Let them be how they be. When you let everyone be how they be, everyone then will be able to work maximally. They'll feel your source energy without repelling it. And their frequency and co-creation waves won't actually bother you, nor will it come into your space, because when they meet you, they'll meet you at source, because that's what you are calling in by being source in that space. But we can feel this is source really wanting all of you to release and let go the need to have to maintain relationships and connections and things which are clearly no longer a mesh. And again, it's not a rejection, it's not a judgment, it is the energies are shifting into their rightful frequency bandwidth. And this is a natural progression, it's organic. And for those of us who have been doing the work, those of you who are doing the work, good news is, with the planetary changes happening and all the frequency shifts, even the star sign readings we're doing, they are so positive and so empowering. We have shifted into the space where now we can finally see our source energy manifest and build it and create with it and finally be in your power and achieve and succeed and be abundant and be wealthy and be healthy. All the things you want happening while you are source. You don't need to deny yourself your power to receive. Not like the realm of control that needs you to be crushed down and suffering. Oh, you need to suffer and sacrifice and then you will succeed. No, we're done. We're done. Oh, goodness, no. Nobody wants to do that. That does not sound fun in the least bit. And we're tired. We're done. We have past life stoning and drowning and burning at stakes and crucifying, and we're good. We're good with the suffering and we're good. If you want to keep suffering and if you want to keep struggling, you do you, boo. You enjoy that. Look, we are done. We're fine, and that's okay. And allow yourself that. Allow yourself, okay. Don't need to suffer, don't need to struggle, don't need to lack for, don't need to... No, don't have to be in pain, don't have to be miserable, no. Don't have to be anxious, don't have to be depressed, don't have to be frustrated, no. Don't have to be bothered, no. I can actually be happy, yes. At peace, oh peace, yes. I can have my boundaries intact, yes. My basic human rights can be here and seen. I can have basic human rights and they can be seen and respected, yes. Yes, I can exist. I can actually exist, yes. It's allowed, yes. I can be in my power, yes. I can be sourced, yes. Create my reality, That's what I'm doing. And for you just to embrace and to enjoy and to be and to love, relish and celebrate and I have no idea how it's gonna turn out. And it's okay. Why? Because this crazy unknown path feels like love. It feels like a hug from a being you've always known in your lifetime, and you haven't seen them for eternity. And when they hold you, everything stops and you can just be forever there, knowing that they also feel the same as you hold them, safe, secure in your energy. And they also don't want to ever let go because it's just pure love. It's worth it to feel this love. And we feel it with all of you when we do this work. It's such an honor to be here with you. Blessed be.